Wrapping up creating the IEP, the draft document. So you've created the draft document. It is down here on the bottom. And you've pressed save and continue and you move on. It's going to tell you all of the errors that you had. But when you come back, you'll continue to have this box to create the IEP. So after you make any changes, you can create the IEP or update the draft at any time. So you've finished the meeting, you've gone through everything. What's next? You're going to want to come to documents. Any document that has been created for this student within the last 30 days will appear here in this box. Now you're seeing all of these other boxes. Yes, CCAS has uploaded into ECATS, so we have all of the PDFs of all of the information and IEPs and forms and all that stuff for every student. So that's a wonderful thing, so we can come back and look. Remember, a draft will be only saved for 30 days. After 30 days, y'all, it's gone. We cannot get it back. So you have to make sure you are finalizing all of your forms. So we've had our meeting. You've created the IEP. You've written your prior written notice. Remember, that is your DEC 5, but it is called the prior written notice. You've got your parent invitation. You're ready to print your forms. Well, here's a trick. Whatever you want printed, if you'll just click those items of what you want printed, and then it'll give you the option down here to view document batch. So we'll put all of those documents in a nice pretty order, and then you can hit print, and it will print all of the documents that you checked. You won't have to go in and check each individual document to print it, which is kind of cool. And it just puts it in a nice, neat, pretty order for you, and you don't have to worry about that. Real quick, for the EC process, and I have my IEP, your prior written notice is right below your IEP. So I'm having it come up so that you can see what the prior written notice is. Yes, your LEA should be completing this, but if it's not, you'll know how to do it. So who'd you address it to? Mom and Dad Johncock. What date did you give it? Supposed to be the date of the meeting. When's the IEP going to begin? Usually it's the next day, but depending on the time, it might possibly be the day of the meeting. And then what time was the meeting held? You'll enter hours, your minutes, and whether it was AM or PM. What was the purpose? The purpose was to review and revise the IEP. If you'll notice, this is the same language that's on the invitation. They have changed that. It no longer says annual review. So you now have the same language, which is kind of nice. First box, or the next section, is you're explaining what you've proposed. Describe what you proposed. This can be just a simple list. Annual review of IEP, update goals, review progress, whatever you have completed during this meeting. The next box, this is where your meeting minutes will go. Whatever has happened, you will address in this box from start to finish. What did you refuse? Well, we're going to refuse moving student to another location or change his setting. Why? Because he's where he's supposed to be here at this school, but you're going to explain what that means. So you'll put in detail why you refused whatever you're refusing. Next section, source of relevant information. You need to click add and remove. What did you use to make the decisions in this IEP? Everything that was in the existing data that you looked at, you need to make sure you check it because you have used all of these things. You won't check the two boxes here that I have that are trash words that need to be deleted. And then again, attendance and goals will be added when ECATS and Power School are talking. And then I'm going to save and continue. The last piece will describe any other options that the team considered and or any reasons why those options were rejected. So was there anything else that the team talked about or any other options that we could have talked about that was considered? Why'd you say no? And then the next box, what other factors might be relevant? So if parent brings in information that their child is going to have surgery and be out of school for a month, you need to talk about that as a factor and how it's impacting. When are you going to implement the decision? Who gave the prior written notice, which is the DEC 5, to the parent, and when? And then this last section is your team members that attended. Same as on the DEC 4, you're going to list your LEA, your special ed, put Logan Hollingshead as your regular ed teacher, and then make sure you check the box to excuse him. Who else attended aside from the parents and the required members, and then explaining who the team members are and then who was absent and why they were absent, and create that draft. You'll create the draft, you'll show it to the team for review and make any changes, and then go ahead right then in the meeting and create your final document. And that is it for the DEC 5. When you want to see the DEC 5 to print it with the DEC 4, you'll go back to the Documents tab, and when you click here, it'll list all of your documents. And that should be the end of your normal annual review meeting.